Hello everyone. So I've had a few different comments asking for me to show all my different knives and open them up and talk about them a little bit. So instead of just doing all of them at once, I'm just gonna do it in different drawers and segments. So today I'll show you my top shelf or top drawer knives and talk about each of them. And then eventually I'll do segments of the others, probably just sporadically. That's just like how my brain works. But yeah, today I'll show you the top shelf ones. Most of the time the top shelf, or I guess you could say like my nicer, classier ones, or just ones that I carry all the time. Like for the longest time I just had my full-size bug out there because I just used it and carried it so much that it stayed on the top shelf. So they're not really in a particular order. It's just how I've organized them in my head and just how it's laid out. So yeah. All right, so here is my top shelf of my knife collection. I'm gonna try to go from here this way. So here is the MK3 from A Purvis Blades. A Purvis Blades is ran by Adam Purvis. He designs these knives and he's really good at making Damascus pocket clips. So if you ever need a pocket clip, you definitely should hit up Adam. He's a great guy. I ended up buying this one because I love Blackout and Damascus. And then Adam was kind enough to send me this one as a gift. It's kind of funny because I thought originally that this one was going to be my favorite because like I said, I love Blackout and a pop of Damascus, but this one has definitely taken the title of favorite. I don't know what it is about this knife. If I put it in my pocket, it's going to end up in my pocket for like the next 2 weeks. I love the hand satin blade with the stonewash accent right here. You have your natural micarta, stonewash pocket clip. There's just something about this blade and design that's just super polarizing to me. I love it. So, I love to talk to Adam about knives, but he's also a first responder and a paramedic. So we have that common ground of being able to tell really fun and funny stories about the medical field and working in it. But this is the Zerk from A Purvis Blades. M390 blade steel. Love that harpoon right there. So yeah, sorry guys, I'm trying to keep this as focused as possible. But anyways, this is an integral knife. Love the back. Look at those beautiful holes. Titanium handle. Flipper. You know, flipper knives were growing on me. I used to hate flippers. Like if it was the only way to deploy a knife, I was like, ew. But you know what? Flippers are growing on me. So, there's the Zerks. Now we have the Lamia from Alex Steingraber. I love this blade and this design overall, but I really like being a part of his story. It's fun to watch him grow and make changes every day. I mean, he's already made a few changes since I got this one. This is number 25. He's shortened that. He's added more milling on the inside. I think it says proudly made in USA and all that fun stuff. But I just like being a part of the story. Having number 25. Beautiful grind lines here. This is his stumble or satin tumble. Titanium handles. Purple anode. Screws down here with the pocket clip and back spacer. Simple, clean, efficient. And this knife is on washers. So there you go with that one. But yeah, definitely check out Alex Steingraber. He's one to watch. This right here is the McNees Mac 2. Now this has the old pivot. It has still had that orange peel look. This was a knife that I got on National Knife Day last year. I remember he made a post that, like Jonathan McNees made a post, and he said, we'll be dropping knives all throughout the day randomly for National Knife Day. Keep your eyes out. And I luckily was off that day, so I'm pretty sure I checked that website like every hour. But I'm super happy this is the one I ended up with. This is the Cracked Earth. It was this or like a comic book themed one, but I just couldn't get over how cool that looked. And it kind of does have that like blood splatter look. But yeah, Cracked Earth, super cool bronze. You've got your backspacer here. This knife has great action. Now, I'm all for full transparency and honesty. This knife killed my thumbs when I first got it. Like the thumb studs and the action hadn't broken in yet, it killed my fingers. But now, after about 2 weeks of carrying it, it just broke in and it's been smooth ever since. They do a beautiful, beautiful stone wash. And I know that currently, like their newer models right now, they're just working on making more and more stuff in-house. So I know they used to be basically like a custom mid-tech, but I'm pretty sure eventually they'll probably just be full in-house. But yeah, was able to meet him and his wife at Blade Show. They were super nice, great people. So it's always nice supporting a company that, is nice to their customers. It's so crazy, right? Crazy to wrap your head around, but yeah. Love this knife. This is definitely a no seller for me. I almost sold it one time and then I was like, no, don't do that. This is the Jaeger M from Brian Brown Knives. This was the Knife Joy Special Edition. This was a drop that I literally set an alarm for, and after, like my alarm went off 5 minutes prior, and then I went and sat by my Wi-Fi router to make this drop. And you know what? It worked. So maybe that's my problem. I haven't made any drops lately. Maybe I need to go back to sitting by my Wi-Fi router. But this is an Adam Purvis clip. I sent him pictures of my knife and I said, hey, you want to match my pivot? And he was like, sure, Kaylee. But no, he did a great job with it. He matched it up perfectly. So couldn't be happier with it. But yeah, this is a great knife. I know some of them ting or ring or whatever. I feel like the micarta inlays might reduce that noise maybe. Help, reduce the vibrations. This one doesn't, but I don't care. This is a great knife. Very nice, good size. No jimping up here, you just have that clean look. But yeah, I love these micarta inlays on this knife. Just looks good to me. You have that pop of color. Nice. Then we have the Roosevelt. Magna cut blade steel, stonewash blade. You have your dark wash handles, flush hardware. I know back in the day they used to have the pivots that sat above, but these are the flush ones. I bought this exactly as is. My friend Marty was able to help me out and get it for me at Blade Show, because I just had the regular passes. But you have your Zerk pocket clip and back spacer that matches. I love that layered look on the back spacer, and you can see right here it's got that right there with the pocket clip. It's a very small detail, but man, I just love that. Great size, good ergonomics, good action, and it's just broken in better and better every day. There was no really issues with it when I first got it, but I remember just noticing a difference after a few days. This is one of those knives that breaks in nicely. This is on ceramic bearings. Yeah, really just a great knife. Beautiful. Their golf putter handles would be like a grail item for me to get eventually one day. The golf putter scales. I like the smooth scales, but that golf putter is really cool. But anyways, moving on, CKF. And I don't know if you've noticed something different here. I got rid of the snafu. I know. I just felt like I liked the Satori and the Evo 2.0 a lot more, so I passed it along. This is the Satori from Custom Knife Factory. Love this. Integral. I actually got this from my friend. His name's Pockets X on Instagram. Me and Archer like to talk about knives, and basically one day he was just looking at my collection and he was like, you really need to try a CKF knife. Like, you love action, you love good and unique designs, you just need to try it. So this was actually his second Satori. So he sold me his second, and I was appreciative of that. It's always nice we don't have to hunt one down. But yeah, like as soon as I got this in the mail, I remember messaging him and being like, holy crap, this thing is great. You were right. I love it. But yeah, here's the Satori from CKF. Here's the Evo 2.0. This right now is one of my favorite knives. I love it. Listen to that sound. Good action. Ooh. Yeah, really like this. Feels good in hand. I love that like aggressive looking jimping. That just looks cool to me. Good in hand. Yeah, you have your M390. You're kind of just common steel for a lot of production knives, but ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, love this knife. Really beautiful. All right, and this is a new one for me. This Gavco right here. This is a Shrunk Tiger liner lock, custom from Gavco. Had a friend that was going to sell it, and I've always thought this was very attractive, so I went ahead and jumped on it. I really, really like the spotty hole with just mean blade lines. You know, you've got your layered handles here, liner lock. I don't know, just a really good looking knife to me. And it's got a really good size to it. I love the sound it makes when it opens. Good size. You're gonna hit some hot spots with that clip, I'm gonna be honest. So, this is more of just like a custom, nice, you know, slight EDC task. Carry it in your pocket. Wouldn't go too crazy with the task just because, like I said, the way this pocket clip bends up like that, you can see that. It's a definite hot spot for me at least. But as far as just a slight EDC task and admiring its beauty, I'm all in. This thing does not want to focus. Okay. Yeah, love a good spotty hole. Anyways, speaking of Gavco, I'll just go ahead and break the line here. This, like I said, mentioned before, this is my first custom knife I ever got from Gavco. This one's more comfortable in the hand to me, I will admit. Also a liner lock. It's kind of funny. I feel like I like the looks of that one better, but this one's just more comfortable overall to hold and use. But anyways, there's those two from Gavco. Now we have the all DLC Bureau Engineering Axon frame lock. So you know you got your titanium handles there. Good action here. You know, it's like every time you want to get on camera, you can't flip the knives well. Anyways, I've always thought it was super cool and innovative how they do. Essentially, like, it's not a spotty hole, I know that, but like their cutout for it, like I guess like they're fuller. It's just so neat. I've always thought that. I love like a good worny looking blade. I think they're I don't know, like I hear so many people like, oh, I hate a worny looking blade. I think they're very practical. I mean, any box you get into, cooking, dicing, I don't know, I like it. I like the Axon a lot from Bureau Engineering. There you go. You can also front flip it. But yeah, love the Damascus. And this is from Bureau Engineering, bought from their website. When I took apart this knife and put the Damascus kit on, I noticed that I couldn't tell at all really that I had disassembled it, which I think is awesome. It just means that whatever coating they used on these screws really held up well. Because like I said, this knife didn't come like this. I had to disassemble it and put these parts on. And you know, normally you can tell in the screws that you've disassembled a knife, but I personally can't tell, so I thought that was really cool. There you go. And then beside it, I just have its twin. We have the stone-washed Axon, and this is all stone-washed. Stonewash blades, stonewash handles. Just kind of that uniform, nice look. This one as well. Obviously you can front flip. Maybe just like coated knives, that DLC one. The action's better on this stonewashed. I'm sure it has something to do with the coating. Maybe it just needs a little bit more time to break in. I did get this one first and I've carried it more. So I'm sure it's just more broken in. But as you can tell, this action just seems to be a little bit smoother and better. But yeah, just love that uniform look. I think this is a good user. I honestly just feel like all stonewash, just the design, blade shape, I'm all for it. This is the Benchmade Anthem. I got this like 2 years ago on Knife Swap from Reddit. I didn't even know it at the time, but like the dude just sold me a first production one. It was like pretty fair price for the market for them as well. I was kind of surprised. It came kind of dirty. With it being an integral, instead of taking it apart, I just used alcohol swabs from work, and I just kind of cleaned out that inside frame there since it's all one, and blew a little compressed air, and it looked a lot better. This knife is very smooth. I did replace the pocket clip with the deep carry one. Just that nice integral action. Really like this knife. Really glad that I was on Reddit that day and was able to find one. And here we have the Aries. So a lot of people say this is like a staple for the high-end EDC knives. And I can't say that I disagree. You have a really great detent. You have that like thack, thwack, bam. Great detent, smooth action, nice drop, flipper tab, opening hole. I really like the textured handles here. The blue anno, I love that pop of color. So yeah. I actually was sleeping. I sleep through a lot of drops because I work night shift, but a drop was happening and my buddy said, hey, you know, I'll be willing to try for you. And he tried for me and he was able to score it, and yeah, I really appreciate that. Because I hate missing drops, but after a 12-hour shift, there's not much in the world that will make me wake up for a drop. You know, afterwards I'm like, dang, I wish I had set my alarm, but during the time I'm like, absolutely not, nothing's worth that. But this is the stonewash right here with your satin flats. Really good knife. Wish I had gotten in on the minis. I'm interested to see how that would be. This one, you know, it's a great knife. So it's pushing it on the larger side for me of what I can EDC and carry. But yeah, just a beautiful USA made knife. So I have to concur, I agree, you know. The staple there. Then we have the Lucas P. Bought this from someone, they had already swapped. So normally you have the satin handle titaniums with the belt satin, or you have this one with an inlaid micarta. But he had two and already had swapped it and actually sold it to me like that, which I was really happy about because I love contrast. If you're gonna have a satin blade, I usually like a darker handle, or vice versa. If you're gonna have a darker blade, I just like contrast. I think it looks good. So I was really happy to get this one already like this, because obviously it's not sold like this. But yeah, got good action. I really like the thumb studs. Like for this to be a production knife, these thumb studs are very comfortable. They have a little design to them, just very nice. So, cool knife. I've carried this to work quite a few times just because it's just a good size. It's fun to use. Bam. And here we have the Barber from Berg's Blades. Love this knife. Love the blade shape, love the blue anno on the black. Super cool. I remember this was one of those knives where like I was like looking at it online and I was like, I don't need it. But I was really glad that I bought it because it's just such a unique looking knife. very proud of Matt for this design. Like, this is just stunning. So he's coming out with mini barbers soon. I did pre-order one, so I'm excited to see how those are. But this full size is still great. I mean, looks good. It's got your blue accents of color. Yeah, really like this one. All right, and here we have the full size slim from Berg blades. Freaking love this knife. Look at that beautiful fat carbon. Got your like 80s, 90s feel. Reminds me of like Nickelodeon cartoons in the 90s. With the DLC blade and handle right here, it just looks so good together. This one right here has a great detent. Ooh, it's just enough to where it just snaps out great. Great action, and he's labeled all these, numbered all these. So I have number 12 of 30. Cool. But yeah, amazing detent and action on this one. Then we have the mini slim from Berg blades with the Damascus kit. Fun little guy. Super easy to pocket, super easy to carry, great EDC. Detent's perfect. Action on the full size is a little bit smoother, but you gotta think, you know, anything full size is gonna weigh a little bit more than the mini, so you wonder if gravity helps with the action on these bigger guys. But still not bad. Still can shake shut, flies out great. Yeah, just looks great. So there's my Berg blades family right there. Here we have the LUT from Microtech in the violet. Absolutely love this color. Now this is an auto I will rock all day. I actually was able to get one of these. I recommend if you like stuff that's a little harder to get, you've got to follow on Instagram or Facebook, wherever, these smaller knife shops. Because, you know, they're probably working with a lot less people. They don't always have time to post about what they get in, like on a massive scale, or, you know, tell about it on the website. I found this because a small knife shop, Mark's, I think it's Mark's Outdoors on Instagram, but small knife shop posted it on their story, and I had actually been looking for one of these. I just didn't want to pay a retail price, and or like a secondary price. I wanted to pay retail, but he posted this on his story, and I remember commenting like, "Can I has it? Can I have that?" And he sold it to me. But yeah, I'd recommend if you're after some harder to get stuff, or, you know, just want to see some different stuff, follow some small knife shops, small knife stores. It's my recommendation. Now, you'll see this is empty. I sold the nude Norseman. I did, with the crossfade scales. I finally got picked for the Grimsmo curated collection. After like a year or so of being on there, I finally got picked for the collection. So I woke up that morning, saw it, clicked on the link, found one that I really, really liked, and yeah, ordered it, and then immediately that same day sold my other Norseman to fund, obviously, the one that I just bought. But, you know, we still have this one. This was the first thing I ever got from Grimsmo, and that's when I was like, wow, they really are not playing with action, quality, small details. So this is the acid etch. The one I have coming is the stone washed, and I will show it to you guys when it comes in. This is the Rask dragon scale with the fuchsia ano and the blue screws. Great knife. Ooh, just look at that drop. Flipper, and then bam, drop. Beautiful. Beautiful streamline. We have the Gavco Thrasher drop knife, whatever. You guys like how I'm naming these? I'll try if I have time when I'm editing, I'll try and, when I talk about each knife, I'll just throw in the name of it in the bottom corner, so that way you can take it to Google and find it, or just learn a little bit more about it if you really like it. But yeah, love this knife. Love the pocket clip. Super comfortable in pocket, which is weird because on that one I said it was a hot spot, but on this one it doesn't hurt my hand. I don't know if it's just because this is a longer handle or the placement, but this one doesn't bother me. Yeah, satin blade, really super comfortable thumb studs. They are super comfortable. Super comfortable reverse flick. Good action. Really like this knife. Love the color. Got your milling on the scales. Sebenza, this was my first Chris Reeve knife. This was it. Small Sebenza. This is the S30V when they were doing that. This is the regular bead blast scales. Drop point. First ever Sebenza. I ended up taking the lanyard off of this one, so it's got that little rattle, but yeah. Really just honestly a great knife. I can see all the hype. I mean, you just have a solid knife, solid materials, great warranty, and this thing just says like, hey, use me. So yeah, was really into the drop point blade on this one. Prefer this one though. After getting the drop point blade and then trying an Insingo, I actually really like the Insingo. It's just got that unique blade shape, still can do a ton of tasks. This is the new Glass Blast handle, and these were tie connector thumb studs put on by Parker from Rocky Top Customs. Makes it easier to flick the knife, for me at least. Just doesn't hurt my thumbs like the standard thumb studs do. They just kind of have that, like, you know, cylindrical point right there. So if I slow roll, it's not too bad, but yeah, I have to say that these thumb studs are definitely more comfortable. So yeah, love the Insingo. I really want to try a large. I'd seen one on Knife Joy that had the polished blade and was a large Sebenza with the micarta inlays. That's also my next Chris Reeve knife that I want to get, is a large with micarta inlays. But at the time I was trying to be good and I had spent my knife budget, so of course when I went back, it had sold out. But you know, I'm happy with these two. I just do want to try a large one day. I had a Zan, what you will, but it was just a little too big for me. I don't know. I mean, I have knives that are that size, but I guess just the thickness of the scales mixed with the size of the knife. I still think it's a beautiful, beautiful knife. I mean, that thing, if it was just half an inch shorter overall, would be perfect for me. I know you people with large and extra large hands, that's like the perfect knife for you. I think it deserves all the respect it gets. Just didn't fit my hand as well, but still a beautifully made blade. Anywho, this is Olamic Busker. Got this at Blade Show. I'm a nerd for anything mystical, like dragons, stuff like that. So when I saw these scales, I was like, yeah. I actually saw this at the booth and kept going and was like, you know what, if I'm still thinking about it at the end of the day, you know, I'll try not to make rash decisions, impulse buys. If I'm still thinking about it at the end of the day, I'll go back. And I went back and luckily it hadn't sold yet. Yeah. Super just neat design, small little knife, beautiful grind lines. So much detail right there in the scales. Super cool. Nice front flipper. You can spotty flick. Yeah. Neat knife for sure. And JK 3.5. Awesomeness. Great size. This one also is on the bigger size for me to carry, but I just love this knife. Beautiful blade. And it's always nice to support a company with nice people. I met Felix at Blade Show. He was super nice, pulled out his little Pelican case full of knives and let the people I was with and myself check them out. They're super cool. Here's the mini JK with the satin handles and satin blade and the Zerk pocket clip backspacer and thumb studs. And here is one of my favorites lately. This is the TRM Rivers, Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron. In one of my favorite blade steels, 20 CV. Look at the back of these scales. I'm gonna try to get it to focus. Do you see the detail and the milling on that? Man, I love looking at the back of these scales. This is with the titanium scales. I have the blue O-ring and the white O-ring on the back. Fun fact, they actually suggest that you don't put an O-ring on the back because it can interfere with closing and the lockup of that liner lock right there, but it's just more comfortable for me to reverse flip with the O-ring on. So I keep one on there. But you know, if you want to do it the right way, you're actually not supposed to have an O-ring on the back. You're supposed to just keep it on the front with the thumb studs. But I just love this knife. I just think that the Neutron, for me, with someone with smaller hands, is the perfect size. This is like one of the most perfect EDCs I could think of. You have a super slicey blade, American made factory, great people, good customer service, nice deep carry pocket clip, good retention. Yeah, your screws aren't sunken in on your pocket clip, but I mean, that doesn't bother me. Yeah, love this knife. I reach for this knife a lot, especially running errands, just running to eat, anywhere like that. It's just a really great size. It's slim, fits really comfortably in my hand. So yeah, I find myself reaching for this knife a ton. So yeah, here's just a look at some more of the knives up here. Just thought I would show and tell a little bit more about them. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions and which one's your favorite just out of these.